Welcome to Archangel Revelations and Prophecies 444. I am Gad, your host. Now, this is a new moon, Scorpio. New moon in Scorpio, October 27th, 2019 reading. That is the transit chart, space chart to the left of the new moon. And to the right is the person who requested this, also a Scorpio. And we've had a lot of people that requested these readings. And they're pretty much in the client section. There will be one that I put on the main channel for the public, because I already put one video explaining the new moon for the public. And that'll be a twin flame, two twin flames. And that person has told me a lot. She's been getting a lot of readings. She's trying to figure out about her twin flame and everything. And at this new moon, because that's when you get like new information, new revelation. At this new moon, her and her twin really connected, started working together. He gave her his birth date, pertinent information. We were able to reconfigure his chart and got a lot of mystery solved. So I would tell anybody that wants to really know what twin flames is really all about, watch that video on this channel. It'll be public, and it answers all your questions. It's done the correct way, the way it's supposed to be done by the universe. It's not a love story, and it's not bubblegum astrology. And then she told me later on, like right after the new moon, she sent me an email and said that she was able to get the birth dates of the people in her classroom, and they all fit the same astrological profile. So when you begin to wake up, you begin to see what you're really in and what's going on. And that's why I said if everybody could get people's birth dates and things like that, you'd be surprised of all the synchronicities and similarities going on around you. And because she's been listening to my teachings, she has her own channel, and she's able to do all this stuff you see me doing, so she can perceive a lot of stuff. I think it's freaking awesome. And I hope more people get away from bubblegum astrology, because like I said in that video, I tell you exactly what's going to happen to everybody that's down with the fake or the bubblegum astrology. Because you can't steal from the universe and don't get back. Everything is taught to you for a reason, and it's not bubblegum astrology. It's never going to just be a love story. We all have assignments. We have true north nodes. We have life purposes. And it's our universal obligation to bring ourselves into that life purpose. And if we fail to do that, we have to answer to that. So that's a very good video about twin flames, but about the realness. And then, like I said, I'll be public so everybody can see it. Now, in this video, we're getting ready to go in. Now, again, I have another video that was for clients, supporters only, and that was how the Scorpio new moon, October 27, 2019, will affect the 12 zodiac signs. So all my clients have it, that video, and they have access to it. So we'll be picking up on this particular video, and we'll be especially looking at the chart on the right, but we will be referencing the new moon chart on the left as well. But as far as any thorough explanation, like I said, that was especially for members of that location and supporters. Okay, so let's begin. Ascendant Taurus. So what do we know about Taurus? Well, when you look over there, the chart on the left, we know that Taurus, which really rules the second house of money as well, money, possessions, and value system, we know that it's going to be an upset kind of with Uranus. So if Taurus is money, value system, your value system and your values and your possessions, and that's also her rising sign, That'll be some type of an upset. And we know that Taurus rules her second house, and we go right into Gemini. Now, if you look at the chart on the left, when you go to the third house, because Gemini rules the third house, you see Libra right there. So that's either going to be about relationship and or business partners or legal matters. So I would definitely strongly advise this person to be very aware of any legal matters they may have going on, because we just showed you that it's going to be some type of upsets or possible upsets. And you could have somebody that you know, and it could be a situation that they never really showed any interest in it. They didn't care. And then all of a sudden, now they care and now they want something done about it, and yada yada yada. So now you have to worry about all this stuff that you didn't have to worry about before, because it's Uranus retrograde upset is causing that to happen. Now, I strongly advise this person to listen to that video of how the new moon in Scorpio, October 27, 2019, will affect the 12 zodiac signs, because it does talk about that type of stuff. Uranus upheaval, even possible violence, depending on who you are, or the energy or the zodiac signs that you're around. So you want to make sure that you don't allow the energy to cause you to get into a situation that could be intense. And they even warn about violence. And one way, like I said, because they say people will be acting very erratic right now. So you got to be careful, because one thing, you could be in a car with somebody driving or whatever, and unfortunately they drive a certain way that they get stopped or pulled over, and then if they're still acting disrespectful or whatever, that could definitely blow up to something else, because that's the kind of vibration that's going on in the universe right now. And again, if you're aware of it, you'll stay calm, cool, collected, and you won't find yourself in any type of situation that blows up. But with Uranus retrograde in Taurus, and even at 4 degrees, that's Aries energy. And remember, your first house is ruled by Aries. And remember, this is going on in the 10th house. So this can even be somebody at your job, or employer, or a manager, or somebody that can make trouble for you. So it'll come out of nowhere, like I said. And it might come from somebody that normally doesn't say jack. And that's what you don't expect. When somebody, you're wondering why they normally don't say anything, and now all of a sudden they're saying something about you or to you. So again, be careful, because it is your finances, it is your possessions. Now going to the Gemini energy, again, like I said, they're kind of working together. The first house, second house, the Gemini and the Taurus energy are working together. So that's why I say be very careful of legal situations. And really, your employees, they are, believe it or not, they're your business partners too. Because Libra can also be business partners, but really Libra can be anybody you're in a relationship with, and Libra is also anybody you're in like a love or a dating relationship with. But really anybody that's in any type of business, because that's really what that is. Even though they just call you an employee, you're actually helping that business move forward. So they're never going to call you any type of business partner, but at the end of the day, you really are. And that's why some people that realize that, because I've seen people do it, they'll say, "Hey, listen, the ratio of this product is 12 in the morning, 12 in the afternoon. Well, I'm giving you 14 in the morning 14 in the afternoon, which means I'm giving you more productivity than anybody else, which is helping your business. So therefore, I should be paid more. And I've seen people do it, and sometimes they get it. It just depends on who the person is and all that, and how they feel at the moment. They may say, "Okay, you're right," or they may say, "No, we're not going to do it." So even at Mars in the third house, the chart on the left, once again, is 15 degrees. So that's the devil card, 15, and that's about two people being stuck in the physical world of materialism. They're so stuck in the material world that they don't really have spirituality. They're stuck, and a lot of times that happens with Scorpios, because Scorpios can be really codependent and they can be obsessed. So that's going on in the third house to the chart on the right. But remember, as above, so below. So just be careful of any of that. And like I said, it could be a relationship. It might not. But ironically, your third house is family, and your Mars is number 2. Now that could be the literal family. That could be the literal family that you were born into. That could actually be your own family. Or like I said, if you are dating someone or kind of dating or whatever people do nowadays, that Mars could also mean some type of intensity. It could be intense sex. It could be intense argument. Some type of intensity. And with third house, it's all about communication, broadcasting, publishing, young ones. Because the third house in Gemini are usually about either immature adults or young ones. And even when we go back to your Gemini, it's at 13 degrees, which is the death card or Scorpio energy. So that means something might die. And remember, Mars used to rule Scorpio. Because like your chart has a Scorpio undertone, even though we haven't really looked at any Scorpio yet. But it is a Scorpio new moon, and this is about inner transformation as well. But Scorpio is about change and the truth coming out, or being pushed to deal with the truth or ask questions and things like that. And it might be in your personal life, but it could also be in your relationship with people, or like I said, because people just have strange relationships sometimes. They won't say we're dating or whatever, but they still got something going on there or whatever. But that can also increase the intensity, because sometimes people want answers, and that could increase the intensity of it, even if they're taking themselves through it. Now, as you can see by the chart on the left, the family is in the 12th house, and that's also the true north node in the 12th house. So again, this is about family, education, the Imom Coeli, the mother, health, land, property, real estate, the heart. And once again, you see that 15 degrees. The 23 can be the 23 can be diplomatic, but it can also be like Uranus. Out of nowhere, it'll change on you. So that's why I say you have to be very careful of, somebody or something changing unexpectedly, and especially with this new moon. Now on my channel, there's another video about this new moon, what it'll do and stuff like that. So that was a good one too. But they're telling you anytime under new moon, things could surprise you, because the sun is being blocked out, so you don't have any clarity. So you can actually be deceived if you're not careful. So that's why sometimes they tell you to wait until the moon starts to wax or become bright. and then the sun is no longer blocked out as well. But each person has to make their own decision. So then when you go to the fourth house with the chart on the left, again, Scorpio. Now you have a lot going on there, because that's where the moon is at, that's where the sun is at, the new moon. But pretty much the energy looks pretty good. But remember that 24 Venus, see, that 24 is the number of return. So that's you being taken back to a situation or a person from maybe before. And your Venus is in your fifth house with Virgo energy, but so is your Juno. So once again, it could be that situation or a situation like it. It's a return, because ironically, the family is close to the home. That's why when you look at the sign for Scorpio, it looks a lot like the sign for Virgo, because the people that put this together knew what they were doing. So it'll be some type of love return to family or home. And again, like I said, where I am, I have a soulmate right up the street, but it looks exactly like my twin flame, and they even move alike. The same moves when they're talking on the telephone. So lately, sort of like messages from my soulmate keep popping up. But that's because there's a whole twin flame connection going on right now. But if they can't get to you through the twin, they use some type of a synchronicity or some type of other way of getting you to think about your twin and stuff like that. Now, in the family realm, it could be somewhat shocking, because Uranus can be shocking, but it might actually be some type of shocking unity. Like I said, either with the family you were born into or your own family. But if it's your own family, it might not be shocking unity. But I'm only saying that because of the configurations. You got Venus there, Mercury, and also at 26 degrees Mercury, that's some type of spiritual conversation. And remember, spiritual can be esoteric, mystical. It could be Christianity. It might be tarot cards. But whatever it is, it's something spiritual. Now your fourth house, again, which is Leo energy. But right now, Leo, with this new moon, any fire sign is being offered good fortune, Jupiter blessings, if the fire sign is willing to connect with his twin flame. And if you can't get with your twin flame, then a soulmate or somebody. But the universe is really encouraging the fire signs to connect with some type of relationship. And again, like I said, so your fifth, the ruler of your fifth house is in your fourth house. Leo is in your fourth house. So when we go to your fifth house, there you see it. You see both Venus and Juno. And that is all about relationships. And Juno in the fifth house wants to be serious, but the fifth house is really not supposed to be about serious relationships. But still, you sometimes you see that. It may not really be serious, but if you not like seventh house serious, but if you looked at those people, it will look serious. But still, they haven't really talked about any form of commitment, or when are we gonna get engaged, when are we gonna move in, or nothing like that. But that's what Juno's really looking for. And even your Juno 5 degrees, and that is the 5th house. That could be Leo energy. But 5 degrees is also the Pope or the Hierophant card. And that card is about spirituality, but also marriage. And then it's 15, which again is kind of like, it can be obsession, but when you see like the Pope card with the Devil card, that could be a good indication depending on the energy, because you are supposed to be with that person, especially in Juno. So that's actually good. So that's why I was saying. So in your case, there's either Leo or Virgo that would probably be your twin flame. And in these more recent videos, especially the ones and the one that's going to be public about the twin flames, I go over all of that, because everybody's saying, well, even if I get this natal chart and I see all this stuff, how come it's not really happening that way? Or I do know who my twin is, but we're still not connecting. So I deal with all of that. And that video should be on the channel anytime after 12 Monday, after 12 p.m. Monday or so. It all depends on what time I'm going to bed tonight. But it'll definitely be there sometime Monday. So now you want to see where Virgo is on this chart. See, now Virgo's in Juno. So we're doing it again on your chart, because it's been a few times on your chart. It seems like it's an indication of something, because it's both Virgo and both Juno. So somehow in your Virgo energy, which is either your 5th house of having fun or going out dating or whatever you're doing, or even your 6th house, because Virgo rules your 6th house. And in your 6th house, there's Libra, which is definitely a relationship. So this is a relationship that's kind of not serious, but about to get serious. And there's Pluto. So Pluto is a transformation. Now, what did I just tell you? I told you that these fire signs or whatever, because the 5th house is ruled by a fire sign, Leo. The universe is offering you prosperity or whatever for coming together. So when you go to your 6th house, there's Libra, which is serious, and that's Virgo energy, because Virgo rules the 6th house. And there's Pluto, which is transformation or power or secrets or sexuality, and Pluto rules Scorpio at 10 degrees, which is Jupiter energy, and at 22 degrees, which is twin flames. So this really looks good for a person who's looking for a serious relationship. And it definitely has a lot of twin flame undertones, which I'm showing you and explaining to you. Now, what if somebody's saying, well, I don't know what you're talking about because that's not going on in my life? Well, it may be getting ready to happen. And then even if they say, well, you said that 2 or 3 weeks ago and it's still not going on in my life. Well, we would have to find out why. Because it has to be going. Like it literally has to be going. And I'm not saying that to be funny, but I do so many charts. I do so many charts, and that's just the way it is. I'm not saying it's 100% accurate, but it's definitely on point somewhere. So if it's not happening at all, there's a reason why. There's something blocking this, and you would have to find out why. And that's like a real deep self-evaluation. Sometimes it could be whatever they want to do. But what I'm saying is definitely something blocking it, because I don't hear that. Like if it's on a natal chart, it's usually right on point or it's relatively close. And if it's not on point or relatively close, we would have to find out why. If you're interested in finding out why, that's totally up to the person. But either way, this person is definitely on the. According to these two charts, this person is on the way of going from kind of serious to definitely way more serious in the 7th house. And you see your vertex is right there at 18 degrees. And again, 18 degrees is the moon card. And not only that, but Mercury is saying you have good communication at 27, which is a diplomat. And see, in both of these 6 houses, which is ruled by Virgo, you have Pluto. So once again, all about transformation, going into something new. Could be secrets in sexuality. So now, moving into your 7th house, I believe that is, which is about relationships, and there's Scorpio, and that's also your true north node. But there's Uranus. Now, why do we have to be a little concerned about that? Because Uranus is in Taurus. Uranus retrograde is in Taurus in the chart over here. See, Taurus is your money, but Scorpio is other people's money or shared resources. So it might be a situation with that comes out of nowhere. But again, it could be a good thing. Because shared resources might mean they're becoming more serious. Or otherwise it could mean somebody telling you, well, you owe me, or you used a certain amount of my money that I want back, or you thought it was a loan but it's not. I want that back. And that's in the 7th house. So again, that could be like when you see on court TV and they go to court for stuff like that. Oh, it wasn't a gift. It wasn't a gift. So it's either two people coming together where they begin to share resources or not. And even the sun is at 11 degrees. And anytime you got 11 in the 7th house, that's definitely legal or the law. And then your true north node is 21. And again, that's Saturn or karma. So if it's two people working together, it's a karmic relationship becoming more serious and coming together. If they are arguing or whatever, then it's still could be karmic, but now it's more like legal, or they may be using a court to resolve certain matters. Now, whenever you have Neptune in Sagittarius, this is a highly psychic person, but they're not just tapped into this particular dimension we're in or this planet we're on. They're literally tapped into a lot of stuff, and it could come through their dreams. And as you can see, the moon is right there too. And this is the 8th house. So whenever the moon is in the 8th house, you're dealing with reincarnation. You're dealing with reincarnated souls. And again, you have to be careful because whenever you have a Scorpio or 8th house or Pluto connection to Cancer or any water sign, that could be a spirits, and they can kind of like connect if you're not careful. If you don't know how to protect yourself, they could really connect. So you don't want that. Not that form of connection. So again, that moon is really going to be ruling the 4th house and wherever Cancer is. So that moon is going to kind of be ruling the 3rd house, but the moon is also going to be ruling the 4th house. And whenever you have the Saturn in the 4th house, that can be karma. It could be masculine energy by either the feminine parent or the masculine parent. And Leo in the 4th house is kind of like leadership, but it could also be about children as well. But either way, Saturn is kind of implying that there was some type of rule maker or disciplinarian. And like I said, Sagittarius in the 8th house. Well, we know Sagittarius in the 9th house is higher law, in-laws, long distance travel, culture, class, religion, philosophy. Like I said, higher education, teachers. So that same gift is in the 8th house. But the 8th house is anything. Anything supernatural, occultism, hidden knowledge, sex, death, rebirth, things that are animalistic, alternative medicines, alternative science. Like I said, death and rebirth, figuratively and literally. But you have to be careful because Neptune, both Neptune and Scorpio, they will tend to try to escape, and they'll get involved with drugs or alcohol or anything that helps them escape. So you want to be very careful with that. Because like I said, Neptune is a deceiver. So you definitely don't want to engage in any form of escapism. But again, like I said, Sagittarius can also be a teacher. And again, Sagittarius is a fire sign as well. And like I said, any fire sign. Well, it's also your belief system as well. But any fire sign right now is being pushed into some form of relationship, if if possible. That doesn't mean everybody's going to see the same situation, but that is a push that's going on through the universe. And the moon always goes more internal. But like I said, this new moon is about transformation internally. But also remember, the new moon in Scorpio it rules the 8th house. Scorpio rules the 8th house. And also the new moon is definitely going to affect her in the 7th house because that's where her Scorpio is, and that's also her sun sign. Plus, like I said, it's going to be upheaval because Uranus is there as well. And we already learned that this new moon is about uprisings and shocking events and things coming out of the way. Even watch your electricity or your technology and stuff like that as well. And the sun during the new moon is going to really be blocked out. So it's not going to have a whole lot of say. So this is how a person can be deceived and things like that. So your 9th house is again Capricorn. That's career, reputation, and it's in the ninth house, not the 10th. Even though it rules the 10th house. But like I said, so that's still some type of teacher or some type of still broadcasting. Like the 3rd house is broadcasting too, but it's at a smaller level than the 9th house. And Capricorn is career and reputation. So again, this would be a person who has some type of career reputation. And all those areas, or any of those areas that I said that are in the ninth house. And if you look at Capricorn, because it rules the 10th house, and there's Aquarius. So Aquarius and Sagittarius are very similar. Both of them deal with technology, and both of them are related to people, things of the nature, or even teaching. And medium Coeli also works with your true north node. So wherever your true north node is, your ninth house will be connected to that as well. And your true north node takes you back to your seventh house. And your true north node is 21 degrees, which is Saturn energy. And Saturn does rule Capricorn. So in that way, your 10th house, ruled by Saturn and Capricorn, are connected to your ninth house and also connected to your seventh house. So this could be some type of relationship connected to work, or it could also be a work matter that or some type of a partnership or business situation that may have some legal implications to it. And where your medium Coeli is, you see the number 4 again, and that that again could be Aries energy. So you do have a presence of Aries energy in your ninth house, ruled by Sagittarius, which is ruled by Jupiter. And then when you go to your 12th house, there's Aries, and again, and there's Jupiter right there. So then when we get here, we get to a lot of asteroids. So your 10th house is Aquarius, but again, that's like friends, association, groups, organizations, but it's not a whole lot there. But again, that would be a person who, the implication is her job or employment is in the ninth house. But that's the house to either travel or the internet. And then your 10th house, your 10th house, like I said, is Aquarius. That's friends, association, groups, and all that. But it's not telling you a whole lot. So for Aquarius, you have to look for where Uranus is, and I think we already did that. And yeah, so it takes you back to, like I already said, seventh house and So all the implications are is some type of business arrangement as well. It could still be with somebody you're in a relationship with. And like usually when you do this, especially when you're doing it with the most recent space chart, this should be stuff that's kind of going on in a person's life one way or another. So then when you get to the 11th house, again, ruled by Aquarius, which is ruled by Uranus, you have Pisces there. You have that Pallas asteroid, Vesta at 17 degrees. And at 17 degrees, that is a star card or Aquarius, which is that appropriate because you're in a house ruled by Aquarius. And that card is about hope and everything, but it's still about balancing the land, which is the masculine, with the water, which is the feminine. Balancing thought and emotions. And that chart I'm telling everybody to watch, you got to see it because they're real twin flames. And there was so many mysteries until we got those two charts together. We answered every single mystery. Because this person, I've been working with them for a long time. And and like I said, with any one natal chart, you'll know the basics about your twin, what sign they are, and under what house you two will probably meet and stuff like that. But as far as the mysteries that are in a natal chart, you would definitely need both charts to solve those mysteries. And that's what happened with that particular reading. And that reading will be on this channel sometime Monday. So once again, that number 17 is Aquarius energy, the star card. And again, 18 degrees is the moon card again. And usually when you're dealing with the moon energy, especially with Pisces, this is the psychic. This is the infat. This is sensitivity. And again, it's going to be used to help friends, associations, and groups become more spiritual. So again, and that takes you right back to the 8th house with Neptune. But again, that's the teacher. Sagittarius is the teacher. So like I said, this is the type of person who could actually, like some people do, they rent a room. They rent like a like at a hotel. I have a certain room, and they use that room for eating buffets and celebrations and stuff like that. So this person might rent that room, but they use it for like psychic stuff, and they would be really good at it because Sagittarius, Neptune is going to help them. Whatever is in an unseen world, whether it's angels or something else, is going to help them, and they would do real good, and they would be like, they would sense it, they would be able to sense energy like an empath. That's that whole moon uh Pisces going on. And also, like I said, with the moon, they can actually uncover information that would not be readily available to anybody else because of their gifts. And Palace is real good with gathering information and putting patterns together and stuff like that. Now, 12th house, anywhere, anytime you see Jupiter in the 12th house, that's a guardian angel. So you have a guardian angel, and as long as you serve, you'll always have money. No matter what happens, if something comes up, the money to pay it will come up. But you just have to remember that in the 12th house, you're supposed to be offering service to people, but not letting people take you over or turn you into a martyr. But you do have to help the people, some form of service, because that's how your angel will make sure you stay financially able to deal with each and every day. And again, you have good fortune. Again, that zero, that circle with the X in it, that's good fortune again. So those two areas, and Jupiter retrograde means just you're questioning your beliefs. But and it's funny because the 12th house is about beliefs, and that's why even in your 8th house you have Sagittarius. Well, Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, that's in your 12th house. So you're actually questioning a lot of your beliefs, and because we're dealing with the 8th house and the 12th house, that probably means that you're waking up to like I said, esoteric information, metaphysical information, any information that's non-traditional, not like what everybody else is into. And then Chiron retrograde, but it's still not really healing. And again, you got the 25, which is, like I said, law, universal law primarily, but it could also be law on planet Earth. And then you have the 26, with like I said, that would be like God, the voice of God, or spirituality, something spiritual, either from a Bible or some type of holy book, or something that's spiritual. And again, you're see, even at number 16 next to Jupiter, see, Jupiter retrograde is about questioning belief systems. Well, the number 16 is a tower card, Mars energy, and that's what it does. It destroys everything, takes everything down, especially belief systems. And the purpose is to take it down so it can be built back up with something that's maybe more accurate. That's pretty much the 12 houses. And I said, like I always try to tell people to take notes because a lot of information comes and things are covered and people may not have heard it or might have heard it a different way or whatever. So just like I said, you saw your fire sign and there's good fortune and Jupiter because any fire sign is being encouraged to meet up, try to grow with somebody, try to have a relationship with somebody, and whatever. And that's why with your fire sign Sagittarius is they gave you Neptune, but Neptune rules your 12th house, and that's where your other fire sign is Aries, and you can see all that attempts to send good fortune there. And I'm just looking things over. So if there are any type of legal matters, make sure you have yourself protected. And not a good time to let emotions get the best of you. If you have any type of relationship, the universe is trying to push that to become more serious. And your Lilith is retrograde too, but they had that line across it, so it's hard to tell. Anytime you have Lilith retrograde, especially in the 12th house, she's gonna kind of try to keep to herself, and but if she feels slighted or hurt, she will take revenge her own way, but it's still not gonna be in your face. It'll be more like a strategic, but it'll still be kind of intense because of the Aries energy. And anything with Scorpio, you just got to be careful because the Uranus is on the other side. So the Uranus retrograde in Taurus represents that person's money. So you just got to be careful because it could be upsets like that. Like I said, you could be trying to do something financially and the power, or it doesn't operate the way it should. And that's why sometimes it's good to have backup files at times like this, so that if something does go off or go astray, or you'll still have it. And finally, like I said, if when the readings come, if there's like say, well, that's not happening, that's not going on right now, or that never happened, then you have to find out why. Because what that means is something's blocking, something about you is blocking your connection to your chart. Like if all the correct information was given and all that, then if it's not coming true, or whatever, then that's because of something's blocking, and you would have to find out what, if you're interested. And for anybody else, or even this person that requested this reading, you could always listen to that video how the Scorpio moon of October 2019 will affect the 12 zodiac signs, because that might bring clarity as well. And I also have the other video that explains what this particular new moon will be all about. So that will conclude this video. Remember to have the most recent services offered and price list. If you haven't already gotten it, get your natal chart so you know what's really going on in your life according to the universe. And if you haven't had your natal chart updated, make sure it's updated. And if you've never had it, then make sure you get one and make sure you get it analyzed. And then you just keep it updated. And remember, if with the services offered and prices, you can see everything that we do out here. Because a lot of people think it's just natal charts, and it's not. And some people think that everything is twin flame, but we do way more than just twin flame. This is Get. God bless.